Peace and blessings. This is Lisa Marie Goodson of the Blackberry Beauty Transformative Academy, Ancient African Wisdom for the Modern Sister. So hey everyone, so I'm here today talking about my fasting journey, and today is my number 8 day. So I'm on my 8th day of my journey, and so I just wanted to share with you my revelations that I received inside of the, what did I receive? In the bathtub today. So let's talk about it. So thank you for y'all that saw my 6 and 7. Remember, this is all sponsored by my upcoming intensive, which is a course. It's a training course. It is a live stream. It's $97 for 3 full hours. It'll probably go over the 4 hours. Not only will you learn about how to fast, the ways that I fast, how to set up your home for fasting, your entire home, how to set up how to set up an altar for fasting, okay? And also, it's all $97 for the 3 hours, but I'm also going to include doing a yoga and movement. So a lot of people ask me, when you fast, or is it okay to fast and do exercise? And so my answer is, it depends. It depends what kind of exercise. It depends who you are, right? It depends, you know, how fasting affects you, if this is your first time. So I'll answer all of those questions, and I'll kind of individualize it for everyone when you come into the intensive, which is April 23rd. I'm sorry, did I say April 20th? Yeah, April 23rd. That's a week from today. Today is Sunday, Easter Sunday. So April 23rd, a week from today, you can actually participate. It is on the website now, and I'm so looking forward to you all joining. So, but for me, as a person who's been fasting for many, many years, over 20 years, I do actually do my yoga every day. And so I'm going to including the 3 hours, which includes a worksheet. It's going to include me out in nature. I'm going to bring out my yoga mat, y'all, and I'm going to show you the womb yoga that I do. I definitely got it from the Sacred Woman, Queen Afua. If you want to see it in action and not on a book or pages in a book, I think you will love it. Also, of course, I modified it to work for me. So, because I've been doing it for over 17 years. I've been doing it for exactly 17 years. So yeah, I'm excited about that. All right, y'all. So let me tell you the message I got today. So remember, today is my 8th day, which means it's actually the beginning of my 2nd week. I'm going for 21 days. I completed 7. I have 14 to go. Today is the first day of my next 2 weeks. And so let me tell you what Spirit told me, y'all. Spirit told me that I have to get up at 4 a.m. So for those that don't know, 4 a.m. is a very spiritual time around the world. Many Buddhists, they get up to meditate every day around the world, get up at 4, and other spiritual sects, if you will, get up at 4 a.m. So it's a spiritual time. For me, it just makes sense. It is the quietest time of the day. There is no outside noise. There are not people that got up or that's outside making, you know, moving about. So it's a very spiritual time. But Queen Afua also says that it's when your melanin is at its highest. It's when your third eye is most activated, so you can receive messages from up high a lot easier than you do if, let's say, you get up when everybody else gets up. And for me, like I said, personally, I can tell you, it is like I'm with my mother. It is so comforting. It's like a goddess hour. So, but Spirit told me, if you got up at 4 a.m. every day, besides getting deeper messages, because when you're in your 2nd week, you're going into a deeper fast. Besides getting those deeper messages, Spirit told me that it's a great time because you get to get more done in the day. So if you want me to talk more about that, I'm going to actually talk about that again in the 3-hour intensive. There's a lot of things that I learned by getting up at 4 a.m. If you are interested, I would love for you to join the intensive. You know, y'all, I was thinking about today being my first day of my 2nd week, and how yesterday, the 7th day that happened for me, if you notice, it was very emotional. It brought up a lot of stuff. I find that every completion of 1 week, the 7th day of my fasting, I remember that it definitely tends to, it's kind of like, even when I get up at 4, the 7th day, you would think, wow, I completed 7 days, right? So you would think, okay, so that means that, you know, things are great. I completed 7 days. That's an accomplishment. Like, things are going to be really good. I notice on the 7th day, I tend to have the most emotions, or the most telling things or messages come to me. And they're not always good. Like I remember a very long time ago, I think either I fasted and I was on my 7th day, or I'm getting up at 4 a.m. every day for 7 days, which was like 21 days. On the 7th day, I will never forget this. I walk out my door, and this is some years ago, and my car, somebody stole my car. Like, you know how that's a jacked up feeling if y'all ever had it. You walk out your door and you're trying to think, maybe I didn't park it in front. Maybe I forgot and parked it down the street or around the corner. And in actuality, somebody stole it. I mean, I remember on my 7th day one time, the car broke down, you know. I mean, so many things. So it's almost like, 7 is a deep number. 7 is the number of the spirit, so that means you're very introspective, very spiritual. But in a lot of the ways, in a way, it's only for the brave type of number. Like my day, I'm born August 7th, 1967. I'm born on the 7th day. That says a lot about maybe what I would be in my life. Me being a healer is a person who goes within, a person who's introspective, a person who likes to self-actualize or has to self-actualize. It makes sense that I was born on the 7th day. What you have to be careful about 7s is if you have a 7 in your chart, let's say your numerology chart, that you don't delve so deeply in that you isolate yourself. Sometimes we say on the spiritual journey we feel isolated because number 7 in a lot of ways, and the spiritual journey is kind of isolating. So you have to really kind of couple that with, getting yourself out there, not being so deeply only into your own self where you're not interacting with other people. It's actually very important. You can learn a lot about yourself through fasting. Over the years I've learned so much about myself, and it's always been great. So even though you may go on a fast with me, I want to make sure that I let you know that there are things that you may come up against. And again, if you join the intensive, which is next Sunday between 3rd, I want to tell you more because I'm starting to remember more. That's what number 7 does. Number 7 helps you to remember. It unearths those things that you forgot about, those things that you buried. So I find that every 7 days, there's something major that happens to me. Do you know what I'm saying? Something that it's like you almost might say, I don't think I want to fast, or I'm not really ready for that to come up. That's why a lot of people today have a coach or fasting coaching around fasting, because in a lot of ways, some people are not able to handle all that may come up. You may have been violated, molested. Maybe you were raped. Maybe you were physically, mentally, or spiritually abused, and like you buried those things. Or you thought you did the work on it. You thought, you went to a therapy or had a therapist. So you thought that you was okay. You thought that you was well. And then these things kind of come up for you. And if you don't have somebody to kind of guide you and let you know that, feel the feelings and allow it to come up and maybe even talk to you about it, it kind of leaves you, how would you say, it leaves you out there by yourself. And so, I want to offer a special today, just for, it's a one-day special. If you purchase the $97 intensive fasting 101 from me tomorrow only, Monday only, I will include a free 30-minute consultation if you purchase tomorrow. So if you purchase tomorrow, Monday, I will include, which would be, today will be the 17th. So April 17th, you have all day to purchase the Sunday intensive that's coming up. If you do, I will throw in a 30-minute consultation, absolutely free, to be done at the time that you want it to be done, because I know that a lot is going to come up, and it's a great thing. So if you join, you get that. If not, I'll guide you through as well, like I'll do through the 3 hours and as well as through the yoga. I was thinking today about, this idea of going back to move forward, and how this seems to be a reoccurring theme in my life. And I was thinking about, well, what do I mean by that? It's funny that Spirit said to me, you have to start getting up at 4 a.m. again. And I said, well, I wasn't able to get up at 4 a.m. when I lived with my husband, when we lived in California, and we lived in that loft, because like I said, he got up a certain time. It was only like this one bathroom. I knew he had to use it. He had a routine. And so I would just do my yoga later in the day. My bath taking or my spiritual rituals, I would do that later in the day. And I said, Spirit, it's interesting that, you telling me to go back. I kind of thought maybe I would never do that again. Not because I didn't want to, just because life changes. And Spirit said yes. And now look, you have your own bathroom. And you don't have a daughter that's living with you. Your daughter's in college in California, and that the time is perfect. And that even though you seem like you think you're going backwards, you're actually never really going backwards, because you're in a new situation. You're a new person. You've already had all these new experiences. So doing your 4 a.m. ritual will actually be something that'll benefit you, believe it or not, in a different way. You know, I think that, I was thinking today too, y'all, I was like, for me, it's like, I don't know, again, that turning 50, that almost 50 years old, I want to live life to the fullest. Like, I want to really have a great time. But if I know that my healing or my unhealed self or my lack of healing is preventing me from doing that, then I'm going to make sure that I get that healing. That's why I'm talking to you every day. That's why I want you to join. I want you to make sure that if you don't have the money, you don't have the money. That's understandable. I get that. But I'm telling you, if you have it and you think that, oh my God, maybe I could spend it on this or circulate on that, things that this new dress or this new hairdo, or getting my hair braided or getting shoes or getting back, nothing wrong with that. I love to look good. I love to shop. I love all of that. But if that is costing, those things are not lasting. Believe me, in my 50 years on the earth, I realized that as much as I tried to get things to make me feel good materially, it never did. Maybe it got the man temporarily. Maybe it even got the job temporarily. But it never really gave me the life, because once the allure or the excitement of having that new thing wore off, I was still that empty person inside, or I was still that unhealed person inside, or I was still that afraid person inside, or I was still that abused person inside. And the moment that I started investing in my healing, whether it was just buying candles when I could, or buying essential oils or incense or whatever it is, healthy foods, organic produce, whatever it was, a Vitamix, a food processor, Excalibur, dehydrator, whatever, that every time I invested in my health, whether it was mental, physical, or spiritual, I always received something more that I wanted. That's what I keep telling you. I know that, and I say this on my 8th day of fasting, I know that you want more, and I know you're trying to figure out why you're not getting it. It's because you have to invest. When you say, in whatever way that means for you, you have to invest in something that is going to get you the long-lasting results, not those short-term. And I think as a people, we want that instant gratification. We want that ghetto heaven in a lot of ways. We want to feel good now, even if it's not on a real good, feel good from our heart. And so something as easy as getting up at 4 a.m., it kind of reminds me that is so powerful. That this did not cost me anything, in the sense, the water that I get is part of me paying my rent, right? So I get it anyway. The bathtub, you don't have to have the sea salt if you don't want to. But of course, I'm invested in myself. I get the sea salt. You don't have to have the essential oils, but I invest in myself. I get it. What I'm saying to you is something so minimal that actually brings you so much. Isn't that amazing when you really think about it? So you have to, and after a while, what starts to happen from doing those practices, like fasting, like getting up at 4, like taking spiritual baths, is you start releasing and removing blockages. And those blockages are keeping you from having those things that you say that you want. So the moment that you do that very small thing that might be minimal in price or money, right? Then you get to say, I can add crystals. You know what I'm saying? And I can get the good Himalayan sea salt, right? And I can, get the 50-pound bag of salt and buy it all at once. And I can start getting a purifier for my, faucet, or I can start buying my water, from Whole Foods or whatever it is. What I'm telling you is everything you say, I would do raw if I could afford it, or I would buy organic produce if I could afford it. What I'm telling you is, how do you get to that point where you can afford it? You have to start to invest on yourself, even if it's just investment in time that you get up. My courses is from my heart. So when I give you those courses, it's not me trying to get you, take you, or get your money. Listen, I know y'all know this, but this is Spirit talking to me, so I have to let you know that everything I say to you, I want the best for you. I want you to succeed. I want you to have what you say that you want. Because, and let me say this, I know you can. I know you can. I think my vulnerability is what brings in stuff, because if you're thinking to yourself, and you know, a lot of us, especially as black folks, but I'm sure many have been raised where you don't air out your dirty laundry, or that you don't let people know how bad you're really doing or how bad you're really feeling, that you say fine when you're not doing good. You could have got yourself knocked upside the head, but you are taught you don't tell people that. You're taught that you're supposed to say, I'm fine, I'm doing fine. Or you're supposed to say, you know, you're doing better than you are at work or at school. But if you don't tell the truth, you can't get no help. So to me, getting up at 4 a.m. is telling the truth. It's telling the truth to myself. It's being real. Me fasting is telling the truth. And in that truth telling comes the blessings. So when you say, oh, Sister Lisa Marie, you know, you're vulnerable, you're brave, I appreciate that. I need those things. So keep telling me that I'm courageous. What I know is, and sometimes I don't know it at the moment that it's happening or that I'm doing it. But what I know is that when I come with truthfulness, by doing the healing work, that I'm not going to embarrass myself, or nobody's going to shun me, or nobody's going to tell me I'm wrong or I should be quiet, because people realize that I'm getting something out of it, but I'm also giving that so that other people can get something out of it, which means I grow. Which means that the universe goes, you know, good work. So if you are one of those people, and I'm not judging you, I'm saying to you, you have been taught that you got to hold everything in, that you can't really tell the truth, that you got to pretend that something's going on in your life that's more than what it is. If you acting, trying to buy a whole bunch of clothes or drive a fancy car you can't afford, or clothes that you really can't afford, and you're trying to impress people, what I'm telling you is, but then you're still not getting what you want in life, it is because it is in your vulnerability. It is in your nakedness that you gain. It is in that's your truthfulness. Your vulnerability, your nakedness, your rawness, that's your abundance. That's where your prosperity lies. That's where your desires, your dreams, your aspirations, that's where it comes from. So this is a humbling time for me. And I embrace it fully. You know, me and my husband, I feel like after our conversation, we are just closer. We're more loving towards each other. I know we're very careful with how we treat each other. The effort is being made, not to say that it's been not good. It's been a beautiful, amazing journey. I'm loving him. I'm happy. I've always loved him. That's why I married him. But to know that there's things that might have been bothering us, and we could talk about it and then put it up for healing. Do you understand there's a vulnerability in telling that truth, because that leads to healing. And that's what I want for you. I want you to heal. So yeah, I love it. I'm loving the 8 days. I want to say, am I hungry? No. I find that's the lovely part about fasting is that your stomach starts to shrink, and that if you feel hungry and you drink a smoothie, you feel good. You know, you start to realize that in the beginning of fasting, you're constantly drinking lots of juices if you're doing that, or smoothies, or a combination like me. I'm doing juices, smoothies, one raw soup, and lots of water, that I need less of the raw soup or less of the juices or less of, I do the water stays, because your body is actually now, you know what's happening? First of all, tremendous healing. Let me say this. What I noticed is right here, I got cut. Sticking my hand in the glass, and I think I got another cut here doing something very similar. And so normally, you know, it takes at least days for the healing to occur when you're raw or when you're fasting, and raw as well, but fasting, I've noticed especially, your skin starts to scab over the very next day. Can you think about that? That the healing is so rapid because your body is no longer trying to, instead of going to some place that is ailing, that is hurting, that is in a diseased state, the body, instead, when you're eating, it has to go to digesting. When you're not eating, the body goes to fixing and healing and releasing and letting go. So I am like amazed that I sometimes feel like this is scabbing over. I get my scab, or you know, it's healing sometimes in hours of being the scab coming off. Isn't that deep? That you mean that if I give up, that if I give in, that if I tithe, in a sense, if I take a course, or if I just do the fasting on my own, if I can, if I do that, if I release and let go, that, or if the healing is, if I'm seeing it on a physical level, what is happening on a spiritual level, on a metaphysical level, even on a mental level that I can't see? Is it like the grass coming from under the ground, that even though I can't see it, like I walked here, we walked down this trail many times, it was bare, there was no leaves on the trees, you know, there was no grass that you could walk down the path, and all of a sudden it seemed like overnight the grass grew this much? That means it was already growing. That means it was already coming up. So I want you to know how profound this healing can be for you, and how profound this healing can be, is being for me. So again, I'm gonna make it short and sweet today, because I gotta come from how many more days? It's 21 altogether. Got a lot of days to come. I wanted to just come to you and just say, you know, look at this, y'all. Look at this beauty. I'm out late. It's like after 4, it's probably like almost 5 o'clock. And today I wanted to do something. My husband and I, would you believe that we don't have any pictures of ourselves in the home? Now, we have pictures of ourselves on our phone together. When I say together, pictures of ourselves together. We have pictures of ourselves on the phone, you know, his phone. We have pictures on ourselves of us together in files, you know, for all the 7 years we've been together, but we don't have that reflection in our home. And I want to have that reflection in my home, because I know the importance of that. And tomorrow, I promise, on my Afrocentric channel, I'm going to talk about how to use your home decor to promote partnership. And one thing is, you want to have loving pictures of you and your spouse, or you and your honey, or you and your man, or you and your partner. So instead of, we've been talking about it, we've been saying it, we've only lived together once before, so he had a picture of me on his mantle or his nightstand, and I had a picture of him, but we never had us together. And I think that doing that today, so we found the picture that I want, we're going to Walgreens or somewhere to blow up the picture. We're gonna go find a frame to put the beautiful picture in. And I'm going to put it in a very special place in my home. And when you see the home decor, Afrocentric home decor channel, and that's what it's called if you're looking for it, I'll leave it in the description box. I got a little dirt in my eye. You're going to see that beautiful picture as soon as you walk into our bedroom. And so, yes, you know, it's like every fast is different. Every fast is unique. Every time you fast, it's different. Every time you fast, it's unique. And I want to teach you how to be able to set an intention and through fasting get that. All right, y'all. I love you all with all my heart. Let me see if my husband, hey, Warren. This is Lisa Marie Goodson. I don't think he's anywhere around, y'all, so it's okay. I'm going to get up and stop the camera myself. Let me see. Do I see him? No, I don't, but it's okay, y'all. So I'm gonna get up and stop the camera. But anyway, I love you. I'm glad you're down with the rawness of here and how we just kind of rough cut. And I do apologize for the shortage of the video yesterday cutting off. I did it on my iPhone. Maybe I don't have enough storage, because it said the video was too long. So I had to trim it, and I do apologize, but this is why I'm out here now. I love you all with all my heart. This is Lisa Marie Goodson of the Blackberry Beauty Transformative Academy. Ancient African wisdom for the modern sister. Peace and blessings.